Hi everyone, welcome to another video on stock analysis. My name is Shantanu and in this video I am going to be talking about another large cap stock. The name of this stock is Power Finance Corporation Limited, and as always I am going to be starting off with the history of the company, then I'll talk about the business model, then I'll talk about the recent financial performance of the company, then my own personal opinion, and finally I'll discuss the technical levels with you. So let's start with the history of the company. So Power Finance Corporation Limited, or PFC, was founded in 1986 by the Government of India. It is a NBFC company, which means that it gives out loans, funds and finances other projects within its sector. And the full form of NBFC, if you don't know, is non-banking financial company. So the main reason why this was set up by the Government of India was to streamline the process of funding and financing power related projects. So these projects can be either private projects or government organized projects. So let's say you are a private player who wants to set up a coal power plant. So in order to do that, you'll have to first raise funds, which can be raised by coordinating with PFC. Also, you'll have to adhere to several government policies which the PFC can guide you to. So that's what the main role of PFC is in the power sector projects. And this was a short intro on the history of the company PFC and why it was set up by the Government of India. I know this sounds a bit dull, but the reason for this short and sweet history is that generally Government of India sets up companies to fulfill a particular purpose, and in this case also, since this is a PSU, there's not much of history involved. Anyways, so now I'll talk about the business model of the company. So majorly PFC has three main business models. The first is that it funds and finances projects related to power sector. These projects can be private projects or government organized projects. Second business model is that they provide paid consultation and advisory services to other power sector related companies. The third service that they give out is a non-fund based assistance. That means that if you are a power company and you need a letter of recommendation or a letter of comfort or default payment on guarantees, then you can surely contact PFC for that. Now it is important for you to note that in March 2019, PFC acquired REC. The full form of REC is Rural Electrification Corporation Limited. The role of REC is quite similar to PFC, just that REC focuses on rural areas. And so why this acquisition is important is because REC is a direct competitor of PFC. Now you can imagine what role does PFC and REC play in the different areas that they operate in. And so I would like to state here that both of these companies are heavily and hugely backed by the Government of India, and this is a very positive point for both of these companies. So this was all about the business model of PFC, and now I'll talk about the recent financial performance of PFC. So the profit percentage of PFC on a year-on-year basis has been declining. However, if you would look at the quarterly results that were released in June, if you would compare the profit percentage of March 2020 versus the profit percentage of June 2020, you would see that there is a slight increase in the profit percentage. This is a positive point for me because since the lockdown happened between March till June, and you would expect the profit to decline, but it has been growing strong. Now since PFC and REC both deal in lending money to other parties, since they are NBFCs, and so there's a certain term called non-performing assets involved in NBFCs and in banking sectors also. So if you don't know what are non-performing assets, I'm afraid I'll not cover that topic in this video. Just know that if the non-performing assets percentage is growing, that means the company's liabilities are growing, and which is a very bad sign. So in this case, in PFC's case, the non-performing assets percentage in March 2019 was 8.4%. Whereas the non-performing asset percentage in March 2020 was 7.4%. So financially the company is looking quite strong, and since like I told you, in March 2019 they acquired REC, so there should be an improvement in the financial performance of PFC. So this was all about the financial performance of the company. Now I'll talk about my personal opinion. So I'll talk about few points that I really like about the company. First is that the company is strongly backed by the government of India. And like I said, in March 2019 they acquired REC. So this assures that the government of India is taking necessary steps to make reforms in the power sector, and thus I truly believe that this is a very strong point that PFC has in its favor. Second is that PFC has a huge market share. After they acquired REC, the market share has obviously increased, and so if there is any private player out there, they would first surely contact PFC if they want to raise funds or they want to implement or know about power sector policy, right? So now a couple of points that I don't really like about the company. First is that its huge dependency on the government of India. Like I said, the company is strongly backed by the government of India, but what if tomorrow government of India decides to reduce its stake in PFC, right? What would happen then? Surely that would be a very negative news for the stock. So that was point one. Second is that the quality of non-performing assets since the lockdown happened. So you might be aware of the news that many companies are going bankrupt and many of them are not being able to pay off their loans or debts, right, to other companies. So in this case, it would be really interesting to see how the company reduces its non-performing assets percentage, right? So these were a couple of points that I really don't like about this company. So overall, the company is quite good. If you want to invest in this company for a long term perspective, then this is surely a good stock. Also, you should know that NBFCs right now are underperforming. So what that means is if you invest a certain amount at this point of time, you would not witness any exponential gain, and that's why all of these NBFCs along with PFC are suitable for long-term investment, right? So that was my view on the stock. Now I'll talk about the technical levels. So PFC is looking strong on the chart. The stock has been in an uptrend since August 5. It recently broke its strong resistance, which was around 100 rupees, and the stock is now retracing back to the 100 level to test the newly created support. The support is now at 100. If the stock were to go up, it would reach at approximately 110 rupees, and then we might see some consolidation happen. The nearest support is again rupees 100. If it breaks the nearest support, then it can go up to rupees 90, right? So that was it about the stock and the short-term perspective of PFC. If you like this video, then please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.